a club can be shut down because of a girl that got electrocuted or whatever, then why is a church still open? If a school can be shut down because of a student that got beaten and was bullied, so why is a church still open when a pastor died
and almost doing nothing?
And doing nothing? They just don't feel that, they just don't even have that feeling that our pastor is dead. I'm still wondering why the church is still open. So definitely, I think each member in the church is a suspect. To me, I will start with that. Each member is a suspect. So from each member, then I will now go to the churches around, the redeemed churches around the vicinity.
Yeah.
They have to call them out to actually ask questions on all the pastors. For all the churches on that provinces, all the provinces, or whatever, how they put it. So all the provinces there, they have to come out. Each pastor has to come out and say what they know about this pastor. He might have been having beef with someone. He might have had a clash with someone before. They have to pick them all out and question each church pastor so that they will know where this case is coming from. The wife also needs to be questioned, but because of how she is, we'll say, okay, she can be apart from now until she has her baby. So definitely we'll question her because we don't even know why she showed up in the church in the first place.
Hello, welcome once again to our channel. If you're joining us for the first time, please do not forget to click the like and subscribe button so you can get notifications whenever we post our next video. Yes, so we're talking about today what happened to the RCCG pastor Babatunde Dada, who was stabbed to death in his own parish, or in his own church, the Redeemed Christian Church of God in Festac Town, Amawodofin, 13 Road, 6th Avenue, Lagos State. So I don't know, I'm just trying to analyze the whole thing. Like I got a source talking to one of our sources. So according to her, she was like, the pastor came to church that morning, and the next thing, the whole incident. Okay, let me bring it back to the fact that the people that murdered him were converts. They were converted in church on Sunday, and this happened on Thursday afterwards. So according to our source, actually again, the pastor have been working so hard for a very long time, and it seems like God is just remembering him right now, and this whole thing happened. So she said that even the wife of the pastor, who is heavily pregnant, was at the premises on that fateful day, surprisingly, as if she already had this urge of something bad happening. And then she finally found out what happened to the husband. He didn't really die in the church because he was really bleeding. Then he was taken to the hospital, where he then gave up the ghost. And this pastor's wife, is almost like 1 month gone, like in her pregnancy. So there are actually a lot of things to look into. How would this woman feel? Yeah, that she's pregnant and she's getting this news, and they just did their one year marriage anniversary, and this thing happened. I'm just wondering what the woman will be feeling at this point. I'm sure that right now she will need all the faith and all the prayers that she can get to pull through out of this. What do you think?
Well, what I think is that since she has already seen the whole incident that happened, I think what anybody has to do now is just to hold her tightly, because as a pregnant woman, you're not even supposed to hear something bad, not to talk of seeing it with your eyes. And when it's something that is even related to you directly, it's something that you can't even bear. And you know how labor is. So right now I feel she's in a very bad state, a very, very bad one at that. All she needs is prayers, and because how she's feeling right now is something that we can't even explain. It's something that is beyond explanation. I can explain my own way of how I feel or how I will feel, but I don't know how she may feel, because this is happening to her husband and not my husband. So you can actually imagine what it is. I guess this should be the first issue she's having. So if this is her first issue, oh God, we just need prayers for the woman, because this is something that is very, very deep. Now, I think the woman, first of all, would have even given up on God. But God, you said you were God, so where were you? Where were you when all these things were happening? Does it mean that even in the house of God, you were not there? So I know she would feel this way, but I would encourage her. I would say to her once again, that she can still hold on to God, because God is the author and finisher of everything. That if she gives up on God now, who will she call at the time of her labor? It is still the same God who would come through for her. So she shouldn't say that God left her or God wanted her to suffer. No. God has a reason why everything might have happened. Yes, you'll be asking me what is the reason that God has. God has his reason, and I don't know what God's reason is. But I believe that in everything, God will always show up. And at the long run, she will have reason to thank God. For now, let her just hold on to God, because I know she won't be feeling too happy about this. She won't be feeling too comfortable to serve God. But no, she should hold on to her faith.
Even when you're saying hold on to her faith and hold on to God, it's even hard, because how can you explain the fact that your husband that is serving God, your husband that is in the house of God, and something like this happens to him? This is why people do a lot of things like going to Babalawo, because they know Babalawo is a quick action thing. Would I say that God being a merciful God? Well, let me not go there. Let me just not go there. But then, these boys, they are just teenagers. Looking at their pictures, these guys are up to 23 years. I wonder what could have actually come to their heads to do something like that. Because it is not about the money. And according to our source, they made away with the money that he withdrew that day and his cell phone. Now they were tracking them, and it was still showing they were within that this thing. Seems like the church did not take this matter up very well, because those boys should have been captured by now. And according to our source as well, we even heard that this incident happened on Thursday. They had church services on Sunday. Is that right?
To me, what I would say, when if a club can be shut down because of a girl that got electrocuted or whatever, then why is a church still open? If a school can be shut down because of a student that got beaten and was bullied, so why is a church still open when a pastor died?
And almost doing nothing.
And doing nothing. They just don't feel that, they just don't even have that feeling that our pastor is dead. I'm still wondering why the church is still open. So definitely, I think each member in the church is a suspect. To me, I will start with that. Each member is a suspect. So from each member, then I will now go to the churches around, the redeemed churches around the vicinity.
Yeah.
They have to call them out to actually ask questions on all the pastors. For all the churches on that provinces, all the provinces, or whatever, how they put it. So all the provinces there, they have to come out. Each pastor has to come out and say what they know about this pastor. He might have been having beef with someone. He might have had a clash with someone before. They have to pick them all out and question each church pastor, so that they will know where this case is coming from. The wife also needs to be questioned, but because of how she is, we will say, okay, she can be apart from now until she has her baby. So definitely we'll question her, because we don't even know why she showed up in the church in the first place. So why was she there? So she has to just come and tell us why she was in the church. She was not supposed to be there. So why was she there? And then the members too, we also have to ask questions. What happened? What transpired before now? What went wrong? You know what it is when church is having a meeting and it seems as if pastor is favoring one person and pastor is not favoring this person. You know what it is. So definitely they have to call the church members. They have to start from there. Then they go to all the church provinces there.
Yeah, so bitter people must have done,
exactly,
because people can take bitterness in a very far way that they can do things that you can't even imagine.
So they should have to start. That's what I'm thinking. That these boys didn't come on their own. You came to church on a Thursday, and you said you don't even have a place to stay. Now you were given somewhere to stay, and you killed the person who
killing
offered
your helper. That means you have a bigger helper out there that sent you. Because if they truly have no place to stay and somebody helped you, and then that means there's another person, another bigger helper out there.
There's another helper. This case is just related to the case of what they call this girl, Chidima or whatsoever.
Yeah.
Who killed her helper. So definitely they still have to look for these guys. These guys have to come out and tell us what made them kill this pastor, because I don't really think they killed this pastor because they wanted the phone or they wanted the money. So you can't just kill the person because you wanted a phone or a money. But let's hear from them.
But then security too, we are even looking at the security aspect of it. A truck that does not have a CCTV camera, that does not have a security at all, I don't know, what do we make out of that? With the whole situation challenges we are having currently in this country, every church, okay, even if you do not have a CCTV, at least have a security man at the gate.
What I will say now on this security issue, Nigeria as a country, we need security, a very tight one. So definitely security has to be placed on every side in Nigeria. On the road that we're even taking, they have to place security cameras there. Then coming to the church, we shouldn't feel too comfortable in the church, that the church is somewhere that nothing can happen. No, I would urge every church to have CCTVs in their church.
Yeah.
Every school should have CCTV. You see churches, school, working environment, they should have CCTV, so we can be able to give account of whatever happened in all those places.
Because if you even take it to this Darwin, what happened at Darwin College, if there was CCTV in school, probably, I don't know, maybe it would have given more trace of what happened. So, it should have given more trace of what happened. If Asmin Darwin has CCTV, it's a very big school, and it ought to have CCTV cameras. Even within the environment.
What they call it, this Redeemed Church we're actually talking about, from the look of things, is not a small church.
It's not a small church.
So definitely, the church is collecting offering. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to go to where the ones they are giving to God, but I have to put it up together here. You build up a facility that is very big, massive facility, and is looking good. Then what is left for you to put CCTV? Nobody is taking their baths there. Nobody is offering their clothes there. Put CCTV to capture everything going on in the church. God is there. Yes, we know. God is everywhere. We carry the presence of God. There's no particular place where God goes to stay. God is everywhere. It is we that carry God, not God being a particular place for us to go and meet him. Church is a building. That is what we must first understand. Church is a building, and a building is not something that is not the image of God. Church is not the image of God. Church is just a building itself. We are the ones who are the carriers of God. So we carry God's presence. We carry God's presence everywhere we go, except we decide that, Father, we want to invite you. No, God's presence is in us. So definitely, if you are building a church, have the mentality of putting a CCTV. It is not because of your ushers that they will steal money. It's not because of your workers in the church. You're doing it
just
for your own purpose,
check.
For the whole church, for everybody's safety. Now, I think if I even want to start going to most churches, I'll have to look. If I go to a very big church, I'll have to look if there is a CCTV camera there. If there's no CCTV camera, I think that will be the last time I'll come to the church.
Because you're gone,
now I need my safety.
No, let's imagine there was a CCTV there. Probably before the whole incident with the pastor, there must have been like a little kind of conversation they had, which would have been able to capture that.
It.
Wow. This man, I feel it's partly this death is uncalled for, unnecessary, and carefreeness, right? Because if things were done right, okay, our source even said the pastor stays at Lekki while he pastors at Festac. Now it's a long distance. This is even more reason why he should have a CCTV that he can even watch from his home, because there's no way you can easily drive to say you want to go to your office, church office or something like that. So he should have had there should have been a CCTV that they can be monitoring from home, or even have a security man at the gate somehow, because it was somebody out there that was calling for help. Now imagine the time it took for the person to notice all the whole movements, called for help before they took the man to the hospital and all of that. Imagine the time it took. But if it was a security man that works there, once the pastor is around, you have to be on alert, because he can actually call you at any time. So when the whole hitting, you can see blood everywhere. When the whole hitting and everything, he must have heard it and called for help earlier enough. Right now, I don't even think we're at this point. We're not even in the point where we have to wait for the government to put in security, like you said, put in security on the roads and everything. It is time for us to be our own security. Do the things that, like, Of course, nobody is planning for evil, but you have to plan you have to be prepared. That is just the word. You have to be prepared at all times, because I don't know. The death of this pastor is really, and just the way it happened, the new convert and all of that, it's really not a good one. So there are big questions. Who could have sent these people? What could have been their mission and all of that?
To that church. When was he transferred to the church? That's another issue.
That's another thing, because it could actually also be, pastor to pastor, dragging of a pastoral post and all of that. I know a little bit of how it works in churches when the pastor wants to get this position and all of that, and they see that this person is getting the favor, so they want to take you out. Because I am sure that those guys.
Now they play politics in church.
Oh yeah, that one didn't just start. Now churches are now a political place again. I don't even know. Even this is even going to affect the way Christians all over the world think, their faith and everything. Because
if truly this pastor is a man of God, I know this question will keep running around the minds of so many people, that if truly this pastor is a man of God, then why didn't God save him? It's a question where Christians always ask. If truly he's a man of God, why didn't God save him? Yes, he's a man of God. And the truth is that bad things will always happen to good people. So definitely, there are times that God will never come true. It's not as if God doesn't come true, but there are times that God will just allow things to happen. Not because we are not faithful enough, but you just want that thing to happen to actually help us to grow our faith. How is this growing our faith? Is what you asked me. Yes, this question is like, this pastor is dead now, but the wife, how will she cope? How will the family cope? God is not done with this case, because I believe that God will do more. He will unveil the case later on. As time goes on, he's busy doing his own thing. So definitely we just have to stick to God, because this is the way the devil is trying to make you come out of faith. When the devil wants to drag you out, especially those who have been so faithful, he will just want something to happen to you, something drastic that could pull you down, weigh you down completely, and then he will now take you out of that place. You'll be asking me, this is something that happened to Job. Job lost his children, he lost his wealth, he lost everything, to the extent that he became sick. The wife looked at him and said, what are you living for? Why not curse God and die? This is the same case that would happen to the wife. So if the wife is not really into the whole death thing, this case will happen to her. They would ask her that, why are you living for God again? Why not do the things that other people are doing? But in this case, we just have to stick to God, because God is the only person who can go through this matter and bring out who that victim is in his own time. If we even think that the police will do it, yes, they will do their work, but when God wants to do his own thing, he doesn't even need anybody. He will just bring it out. So definitely at this moment, this pastor is a true man of God. If truly is a true man of God, definitely, I'm sorry, but if he's a true man of God, and God allowed this to happen, this to befall his family or to befall him, I would urge every Christian to keep up the faith. We are in a perilous time this moment, no doubt. Things would happen that would want to bring down our faith, so that we can just
the devil would want to use different means.
Exactly. So definitely, as a Christian, we should all keep up to it. We should keep praying for the death of this man, that God should bring out the victim in due time. In fact, soonest the victim should be held. That's what all Christians need to be doing. We don't have to go around thinking, why would God do this? We just have to be praying for God to bring out the victim soon.
There's actually a lot of lessons to be learned from what happened. One, at least the fact that we should understand that life is spiritual, and life there is more to living. There is more to just going to church, and even in as much as you're going to church, you also have to do it with your conscious mind. Do the right things, do the needful things. Don't use because he's my brethren, he's my church member. You sideline some important things you're supposed to do. Some people that you find out that when they want to do business with their fellow brethren, they don't follow due protocols because you feel they are your brethren, and that's when they'll mess you up. But if you follow the due protocols and all of that, things will work well. Because I'm trying to talk about the fact that, okay, these people are new converts, and I doubt if the background check was done and you just let them to stay in the church. I even heard a story of a church where people stole the church generator, church laptop, church seat. These are unimaginable things that you wouldn't imagine that people would do, but people do it. So if you not say, oh, because it's a church, let me leave my church open, and so it just also brings to the second lesson, which is security. Be your own security. Don't wait for government to bring security to you. Don't wait for anybody to bring security to you. Do your best and let God do his own. Don't come and stress God with, I'm sorry, not like you're stressing God, but don't come and give him more work, like you're not doing your part and you're expecting him to do some kind of magic, right?
But I still feel that the redeemed pastors, they should look into this case.
Very well.
I don't really understand why the church should be open after the death of this man.
Like nothing happened. It's just as if they swept the matter under the carpet. Because they are not even asking for justice for this man. They are not even talking about it with like the way forward to understand what happened. Except they are doing it on the ground and we don't know. Anyways.
Or is it that we still have to interview the redeemed pastor that what is going on? I'm sorry to say, but seriously, things are happening in Redeem, and we need an answer to it. So what is going on? That is the real issue on ground. What is going on? Yes, we know that the devil is trying to spoil the image of the church by bringing up these pictures. But seriously, we just really need to know where the church is. What is going on? What is really going on? So that's just it.
Well, at this point, that's where Christians need to be. Stay fast, stay strong, keep praying. Not just Christian, in fact, if you believe in God, whichever God you believe in, God, Allah and all of that, believe in it with all your heart, and do the right things. That's just the important things. Do the right things, follow the right protocols, and I'm sure we'll get past all of this. Yeah. So yes, you can actually drop your comments on what you think about the death of this pastor and all of that, like your view on it. Thank you so much for staying connected to our channel once again. See you next time.